What up, world? We're 18 back at it again. Welcome to the episode. Today we're rewinding to the 80s to talk about one of the most fun, wild, iconic sequels in movie history. Breakin' 2, The Electric Boogaloo. From insane dance sequences to Ice-T before he was a TV legend, this movie was a time capsule of 80s cultures. Let's break it down. I love Breakin' 2, The Electric Boogaloo. I think I only seen the first Breakin' once. This shit was a staple in my house. It was on HBO all the time. I even have the DVD today. My kids love it. Me and my daughter was just talking about it the other day on the phone. Fantastic, iconic movie. And it still holds up today for a movie that was made in 1984. So step back in the time machine and watch this video. I think you're going to enjoy it. Let's start from the beginning. Why did they make a part 2 to the original Breakin'? The first Breakin', 1984, was a surprise box office hit, fueled by the breakdance craze exploding across America. Sequel, and released Breakin' 2 just 7 months later. This fucking never happens. Movies don't come out like that. That's like fucking when DMX dropped that It's Dark and Hell is Hot and then came out with Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood in the same year. This does not happen, especially in the 80s. A movie coming out just 7 months after the original, that was definitely different. So the goal wasn't just another dance movie. Cannon Films immediately greenlit. It was to cash in on the cultural movement while it was hot. This was Hollywood saying, people love breakdancing, cool. Let's give them more, bigger, louder, and brighter. Breakin' 2 was a phenomenon. That shit was amazing. It made me even like try to dance a little bit. I wasn't a dancer, but I would watch that movie every single time it came on. It was so fucking good. And like I said, it was better than the first one. I only seen the first one once. I can't remember anything from the first one, but I remember everything from Breakin' 2. Why was it so good? The movie leaned into over-the-top fun, vibrant colors, wild fashion, non-stop energy. It wasn't just about breakdancing. It was about community, positivity, and joy. Breakin' 2 didn't care about being realistic. It cared about making you feel good, and it worked. There was several parts in this movie that was over-the-top funny, and it was just fun to watch. Like the part when he was dancing with the girl. I mean, he was falling for this Hispanic girl, and he was dancing on the ceiling. That shit was hilarious. Just seeing his face and how happy he was and shit. Or the part when he was in the fucking hospital, and he had got into an accident, and they was trying to make him feel better after the accident. That shit was so good. This movie is full of memorable moments, and if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I know it's an older movie, 1984, but I think you would thoroughly enjoy it just because it's fucking corny and over the top. But it's just so good. The dancing was next level compared to the first film. Turbo's gravity-defying wall dance is one of the most legendary sequences in dance movie history. The soundtrack was pure 80s hip-hop, funk, and electro, perfect for the vibe. Every number felt like a music video. It was flashy, it was cheesy, it was unforgettable. Definitely, the dancing on walls, like I said, was one of my favorite scenes. Everybody loved Turbo. They liked his hair, the way his style and all that stuff. It was just a good movie. The acting was bad, but it wasn't that bad where it took you out of the movie. It was like corny bad. Like it was just funny good. Like 80s classic corny acting at its best. Definitely you'll like it if you watch it. Another thing that was corny about this movie was gang violence was solved through breakdancing. The movie used dance battles instead of street violence. The plot centered around saving the community center, which kept kids away from gangs. Conflicts weren't solved with guns or knives, but with spinning flips and freeze poses. That shit was so fucking funny. Only in the 80s could a backspin stop a gang war. There was a whole scene where they was in like a junkyard or some shit, and I guess it was Ozone's team versus the Bloods or some shit, or a Mexican game or whatever it was. It was so funny how they was dancing, and then they had a battle in the fucking in the middle of a disco or a club or whatever. The whole thing was jokingly funny, but it was all positive. There was no fucking like real fighting in the movie. They had their hands together doing the little fucking dance fight or whatever, but there was nothing really super violent about the movie at all. It was just funny, super campy. It was just an enjoyable movie for the time. Breakin' 2 was pure 80s. Breakdance, street style graffiti, upbeat soundtracks. It perfectly captured a culture movement that doesn't exist anymore. When people say Electric Boogaloo, they're not just quoting the name. They're talking about a most 80s movie of all time. This movie was super 80s. From the style of the kids' clothes, from the dance moves. There was a kid in the movie who was dancing like Michael Jackson because Michael Jackson was big in the 80s. And it was Ice-T was in the movie, and he had a little rap, and rap was like getting big steam back in the day. The beat from the east and the best from the west, so when they go off it sounds just like this. So it was all 80s shit, very nostalgic for people who grew up that age in that time. It came out in 1984. I was 4 years old, but I remember watching it when I was like 9 or 10 or whatever, over and over again on VHS and on HBO. So definitely one of those classic 80s movies that you will enjoy if you like that kind of stuff. Even if you don't like the 80s shit, I think you'll enjoy this movie. The stars of the movie, Ozone, Turbo, and Kelly returned to lead the sequel. Their chemistry and charisma carried the story. Turbo especially became a legend for his style. These weren't just characters, they became faces of a movement. Turbo was big back in the day. Everybody loved Turbo. He was the star of the movie, and girls loved him. Dudes wanted to dance like him and dress like him. He was just a character of his time, and in the 80s. The acting wasn't Oscar worthy, but it didn't need to be. The movie leaned into slapstick humor and lighthearted energy.
Nicest teeth. No, man, she's not a horse. Tell her about her eyes.
This did look like a fun movie. It looked like they were having a good time filming it. It looked like there was just a bunch of friends doing a movie, which always makes for a good movie, which is why I believe it was one of the most popular movies in the early 80s and late 80s, because people saw them as friends having a fun, having a mission to save the fucking center or whatever. It just looked like a real fun, energetic movie, and the music was so good. You didn't even really have to act too good. And they're just another thing, their acting wasn't good, but their dancing was good. The breakdancing sequences and scenes, and the dance scenes were all good. So I guess that made up for the corny and not so good acting at times, in my opinion. Critics called it campy, but fans loved it. Over time, it became a cult classic. The phrase Electric Boogaloo is now a cultural shorthand for any over-the-top sequel. So why is Breakin' 2 still talked about today? Because it was unapologetically fun, endlessly colorful, and gave us dance battles that still hold up 40 years later. It wasn't just a sequel, it was an 80s time capsule. That's gonna do it for the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Breakin' 2 was a fucking classic. It still is to this day. I still watch it every now and then. It's a great movie. It brings you back to the 80s, in a time where breakdancing was big, where movies like that could really make it. The corny humor, the corny people in the movie, the dancing. It all just, it shouldn't work, but it does. If you haven't watched it, definitely check it out. You can probably find it at a lot of different places, a lot of streaming places. Or buy it on DVD. That's where I got it. But that's going to do it for the video. Thanks for giving me a couple minutes of your day. There's only 24 hours in a day, and you gave me a couple minutes, so I appreciate it. Time is valuable, and you gave me some of your time, so thank you. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share. I gotta say that, I guess. Everybody else does, so whatever. That's it. Have a good one. And I will get at you guys on the next one. Later, and stay funky.